everyone, Les here from BG Trading and I hope you are well. Today is September 26, 2023 and we are going to be analyzing the stocks that you have chosen for us. This is the second video. Yesterday, I posted a video for the high quality stocks that you have chosen for us. And today, I'm going to be exploring some of the stocks, the not so high quality stocks, the more speculative stocks, and I'm also going to show you how you can build your own strategy right quickly to at least understand the degree of risks of you are getting involved in each trade. So you can see whether the stock is speculative or the stock is a high quality or is a mid sort of term quality. Ideally, for us, high quality stocks are the stocks, that companies that are increasing its revenue, but also increasing its net profit year on year. If not profitable company, we also want to see companies that are decreasing, and I say decreasing the net loss year on year and going towards potentially becoming a profitable company. So these are the high quality stocks, and the low quality stocks are the stocks that are still generating huge net losses and no revenue whatsoever. A lot of those are in this particular video. So let's start now. I just want to remind you, this is not a financial advice. So if you like the video, please subscribe the channel, and also like to invite you to become a member of a free Facebook community. We call that Buy, Grow, and Sell Strategy for Share Traders. Right here, details at the description below. We post a lot of great quality content, including some fantastic conversation with our members and some of our stock trading results, stock analysis, and some interesting chart formation from particular companies that we think we should be buying. Also, some weekly market update for the SX 200, obviously. I posted last week for our members to pick up some of the stocks, and here are a lot more stocks than I thought that would be suggested, but all of them are trading at a technically discounted price in a buying area. Our job here is to see which one of them are the good ones and which one are not the good ones. And for doing so, we need to have a strategy. Anything in life, in order to achieve, you need to have a strategy. And if you are trading stocks and the stocks are falling in the stop losses, even though you're making a little bit loss, this is falling strategy. What you don't want to do is, and I spoke with few people this week, some people are still holding Zero Resources, core lithium from early June, early July, our last trade before those stocks collapsing, and we did take stop loss right around 70 to 80 cents for both Zero Resources and core lithium, for example, and other stocks as well. We don't get right all the time. When the market shifts, we happen to have some stop losses, and now we're shifting our trade towards better, high quality companies rather than speculative stocks. So essentially, what happened is, though a lot of people still, some of these guys are still holding the stock, which is now trading at half of the value of the stop loss, which means bringing a 50% loss rather than 9% in some cases. So really need to follow a strategy. You have to have a strategy. That's all about succeeding in life, not just in trading, but anything. You want to build a property portfolio, you have to have a strategy. You want to migrate to account, you have to have a strategy. You wanted to build a business, you have to have a strategy. All about strategy. I keep highlighting that particular sense. Now, let's jump straight to the first stock, which is S32. And I'm going to start this analysis with the stocks that are the better ones, and then I'm going towards the worst ones by the end of the video, okay? This is a metal producer, like diversified metal producer, which has experienced a decline in net profit after tax for FY23 in comparison to FY22. In fact, the company has reported a small net loss after the tax. And that's why the share price has been declining. And I actually pull it up from the latest financial year, why that net profit has become a net loss. That's because most of the commodity that the company produces, which is aluminum, alumina, copper, silver, lead, zinc, nickel, metallurgical coal, manganese ore, they have declined in price. As you can see here, the value of the metal has declined. It's all about the commodity. If you are trading a particular company that produces a particular a commodity, you gotta make sure you understand what's happening with that particular commodity. Most of this decline has been priced in. If we go to S32 chart formation, we can see that the current share price is $3.31. I haven't actually seen a very strong reversal. So if we use the BGS 20 strategy indicators, we can see what's happening with the chart right here. So S32 is currently at what we call giving or taking a hypothetical support level. So if you want to buy a stock, always you want to make sure you're buying at the hypothetical support level, which is not a given value, but is a given range. As I always said, in our online trading course, that hypothetical supports and hypothetical resistance supposed to be a value, not a range. So in this case, I can see a hypothetical support right there, and as the chart shows here, we had a potential reversal right there and a very tight accumulation. This is not a distribution, it's accumulation. You see the candles are green right there. So that's what's happening. So we could have seen the bottom right here, but if I was going to buy this stock now, I would potentially set a stop loss right under here. And then if you're interested to learn more how to set up targets, how to set up stop losses, you can go to bgtrading.com.au and take our online trading course. This is a good high quality stock if you want to have exposure to copper. Okay, since all the minerals has been sold, you can get exposure for copper with this particular company right here. So I'm expecting to see a potential bounce right there. Let's take a look now if there is a potential for 20 to 40% rise on this share price. It's very tight, so I would aim for potentially 18% if I was going to trade this particular stock. So it doesn't fall into BGS 20 threshold of 20 to 40%, but definitely it's one of the better quality companies that we are analyzing today is S32, trading a technically discounted price, potential buying opportunity, but I would definitely set up a stop loss right under $3 in order to make sure we protect. This is in this market, it's all about locking profit and setting up stop losses. I'm going to be very clear. This is we're talking about stop losses. Okay, be realistic. There will be trades out there that will have to take stop losses. I've seen people coming back to me and saying that they've been trading core lithium, Zero Resources, all stocks that we bought but fell under our stop losses around 70, under 80 cents, 72, 75 cents, and now they are trading at 30 cents. Imagine if you haven't taken stop losses. So stop loss is a must in this particular market, especially if you're going to trade a stock that hasn't reported well in the last financial year, especially a company that is highly exposed to commodities. If you want to look quickly on the fundamentals, you can see here what's happening with the company in the last few financial years. Revenue growing. FY22 was probably the best year right here with a $2 billion profit, but in this financial year, the company has actually declared a slightly $170 million net loss after tax as a result of decline. Also, dividends shrinked from the year before, so just keep in mind those losses has already been priced in as well into this decline, as the stock was trading at $5 in the last 2 years and now trading at $3. I think it could be a further downside. That would depend on the commodities that the company is being producing, the commodity prices at the moment. Okay, so let's move to the next one, which is POLYNOVO. Okay, so POLYNOVO, as I said early in this video, I'm starting with the better stocks. Supposed to be all speculative and all good quality and low quality companies, but I decided to add this up because some of the members have requested so. Now, POLYNOVO happens exactly the same. We had a fake breakout here, and then the stock has recovered really well, and then today is sort of looking back above this hypothetical support level. The RSA also showing some good upside potential, bullish divergence as well in there. So just keep in mind that's positive, constructive here. And the fundamentals of POLYNOVO is for a growth stock. Again, this is a growth stock because it doesn't generate profit yet, but the fundamental is fantastic. I love that particular stock just because it's been increasing revenue year on year. The company could have been profitable in FY23. They've just chosen to keep investing, but they have claimed they're going to be profitable in FY24. I think this is a stock that also is in a buying area right there. So always important to understand what's happening with the company fundamentals, okay? So even though you don't like you only like technical analysis, but let's face it, technical analysis is good, but it's a slightly lazy way to make trades. You really need to understand what's happening. Now, next one. Now we're going for more speculative stocks, companies that either not generating revenue or just very little revenue, but companies that are actually in huge net losses, and that's what we want to understand here. So the first one is RNU, RENASCOUR Resources. This is a stock that we trade. All of those speculative stocks, they are good companies to trade. Good stocks to trade during the right macroeconomic environment. When the interest rates comes down, that's when you trade those stocks, because everything goes up, and all those speculative stocks with good stories, because we're buying stories here, all those speculative stocks with good stories, they tend to outperform the large caps. But in this case, when the macroeconomics are not favorable for growth stocks, for speculative stocks, as a result of high interest rates, so and then also a combination with low demand for EV materials in China, then those stocks, they keep falling. They will keep falling. They will fall further if we don't see a further recovery on EV materials in China. That's a key thing. But with RENASCOUR, they have recently released the feasibility study results, and the cost came a little bit higher than expected. So the stock has fallen from 20 cents towards to 10 cents. It is currently in what we call like free fall, sort of speaking. I don't see any signs of reversal apart from this. The fact that the stock now is trading at what we call psychological support more than a hypothetical. And I tell you why this is a psychological support and not a hypothetical support, if that makes sense to you. That's because 10 cents is pretty much a raw number. And for this particular stock, because we are talking about stock with relatively lower liquidity, low trading volumes, technical analysis doesn't really play a big role here, and it's more to do with catalytic announcements or important information that is related to the company's fundamentals, the company ability to keep moving forwards towards delivering its project. RENASCOUR is about to deliver its final investment decision. That will be early 24, according to the management. I'm actually met those guys in during the Nusa mining conference early this year, and that's what came up. Unfortunately, the feasibility study was let investors down a little bit. They are looking to make the final investment decision early in 2024, and after that they will looking to start producing, to start building its facility. They're expecting to start producing by the end of calendar year 24 and early 2025. But then there are a lot of companies out there that are already producing natural graphite. So if you're looking for a producer of natural graphite that is trading at the low levels, we have done an analysis for Cedar Resources yesterday. That's natural graphite producer the company actually produces. So I would much rather go in a trade with Zero Resources if you want to have exposure to that than RENASCOUR at the current market conditions. Okay, if eventually we start seeing interest rates cut across the globe, then we probably will see those commodity prices coming up again, and we will potentially see those stocks coming up to a decent level, and obviously we want to be exposed to that once that first sort of a conversation starts to happen. So the next one is TALGA, which is the SX code is TLG, graphite developer. Okay, so these guys are planning to start producing in calendar year 2024. They have a project in Sweden. The stock price, it doesn't look very appealing, because you can see it is forming lower lows and lower highs, so it's in decline. When the stock price is in decline, we could see further downside, potentially to $1. So I wouldn't be buying TALGA right now, although there are good things happening with TALGA. Potential offtake agreements being disclosed within the upcoming months. So obviously offtake agreements could bring the share price up, but in the current market for speculative stocks like TALGA, I don't think that is enough good information to hold the price into a rally. We really need some good macroeconomic events to happen, which is interest rates cut, demand for EV materials to increase again. China, that would be the things that we need to see TALGA and RENASCOUR Resources going up in share price as well. So as you can see here, speculative stock, because it's been generating higher and higher net losses during the last few financial years, and very little, almost no revenue. So very risky. Think about why I'm going to be buying into a stock that does not generate profit or does not generate revenue. So you're buying a story, and at the moment the market is not rewarding stories. They're rewarding results. They're rewarding profit. That's what's happening with the market at the moment. Obviously, there's some very few situations, but some companies that are being taken over or looking at being taken over, then that's completely different. Now let's move to NOVONIX, which ASX code is NVX. This is a stock, there's a lot of things going on, but it normally moves as a EV stock and also as tech stock. Okay, and that has been very tricky, because we did trade, we did attempt to buy this stock right here at this bullish intersection level 1 there, which the chart and the RSA was suggesting bullish diversions, and that's why you really need to stick with good quality, high quality companies at the moment, because this is a classic example of a stock that was tipping to be bounced and end up breaking out its hypothetical support level right there a few days after. So we had this breakout, and then we saw that stop loss right there at the minimal loss, and then obviously the stock bounced back, but it's still trading under this hypothetical support level. For me, it doesn't really appeal at this stage as the stock is bouncing. So even though we had some very good positive days here, I don't know, it looks like we might see the stock keep falling towards to 60 cents in the near future before potential bounce back towards the upside. The RSI as well has been making lower lows, which we don't like it, really. So it's very messy stock. When the stock is messy, you cannot read properly. The best thing is really to stay out and look into companies that stocks from companies that are trading within a more readable range. Okay, so that's not the case on NOVONIX. I wouldn't touch NOVONIX right now. I would just be out for the meantime. And obviously, if you look into the fundamentals of NOVONIX, you see why the stock is underperforming, because the revenue is very little. So the company has reported the FY23 pretty much in line of FY22. For some reason, it's not here, but be about $3 million revenue for $27 to $30 million a net loss. This is not a good result at all. although we know they're going to start producing synthetic graphite some stage, but at the moment there are a lot of synthetic graphite going on in China, so that brings the share price down as well for NOVONIX. Okay, I wouldn't be touching NOVONIX for the reason I've just explained. Okay, now the last stock we're going to analyze in this video is NEOMETALS, NMT, also trading at technically discounted price. However, the chart shows that the stock is falling and gain momentum towards the downside. There's no point buying stock that is falling and gain momentum. There's no signs of reversal. Although the company has recently entered into a collaboration agreement with Mercedes in order to recover battery materials using their technology, there's no traction at the moment for this type of stock in the market, and the best thing really is to be out. Okay, we traded the stock back in 2022, but we haven't traded again. I don't think this is a stock that that we have any interest in at the moment, or at least for the short term. Let's take a look on RSI as well. It doesn't look very good as well. As you can see, there is a lower point right here, lower than in its lower point in May. So that shows that the stock's gain momentum, still very weak, no much of resistance, relative strength into this particular stock. So wouldn't touch. The only ones I would be buying now would be looking at potentially buying is S32 and POLYNOVO. The other ones I would not be touching until we see some clear turnaround into EV materials in China, demand for EV materials in China, and potentially we'll see some industry rates cut on in the near future, which is not happening at the moment. As you see, last week, Fed once again step up and say that interest rates could be higher for longer than expected, and so they're not looking to cut interest rates anytime sooner than potentially maybe at the end of 2024 or even 2025. We could stay in this plateau for longer than expected, and that will be hurtful, be hurt more those growth and the speculative stocks, and the good quality company, the high quality companies could be the ones to be trading at the moment. That's what we're doing at the moment at BG Trading with our VIP members. Guys, hope that was valuable. If you have any question, let us know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.